Hi, this is William, and this is the first devlog for Unnatural Investigations. Titles, what is it? So, really quick, we wanted to just uh, start the devlog series, but also explain a little bit about what the game is. So what you're going to see in the video is just some behind the scenes level editing and things like that. Um, Later videos will have actual systems and gameplay. But for this video, we just wanted to go over what the game is. Um, it's a horror, first-person, four-player, co-op game. It has action elements, or horror elements, obviously. Um, yeah. Again, it probably falls into a few other categories, but those are the main ones. So, um, what you do in it is you and a group of four people, you and three others, essentially investigate the area for clues. Once you have the clues, it should help you determine what you're actually up against. You'll then prepare kind of mid game, mid level, and then you'll take out the boss. Simple gameplay loop that we were going with. This version of what you're seeing and what you're going to see in early access is after the third prototype. We've went through a bunch of different ones, kind of trying to find the best mix. First one was more or less investigation with minimal action. Second one was minimal investigation with a lot of action. This one's kind of like the combination of both. As for the tools we're using, obviously the main one is Unity for the game engine. Been using that for quite a while. It's a great engine. As long as you take your time and actually put effort into it, works great. We are using some assets for the models and the characters. Main reason for that is we don't have a dedicated 3D modeler on the team. We hope after and during early access, if we do get some sales, that we'll be able to actually have specific models created and made for us. So that's the hope there. As for other tools, we have a few rendering tools we're using for the vegetation, as well as one tool that we've kind of settled on for the multiplayer aspect of it and the first-person controller aspect. We decided to go with some third-party tools to speed up development. However, all of the tools we've modified for the specific nature of the game. So a lot of, like, for instance, the multiplayer part of it, the first-person controller, excellent first-person controller, not specifically made for the type of game we're making, at least the other systems. So we scrapped most of the systems, but kept the controller, modified that, and then kept the lobby system, which was a great system. It really helped us speed up development. So yeah, we use that. Other than that, for the most part, the rest of the systems are all created in-house. All the gameplay systems are created in-house. Yeah, and they we'll go in more details on those later. But as for what the games, what we hope for in early access is kind of a big question, and a lot of early access can be sketchy nowadays. But what we're releasing with in early access is 3 decently polished levels, 15 different bosses that you'll encounter, 4 classes that you'll be able to choose and play with, a number of different systems. Obviously, it's multiplayer, 4-player co-op, which is the recommended way to go. And during early access, our main goal is to build on what we already have. Levels will get created. We plan on releasing 3 more like mid-size levels during early access, and then we'll continue afterwards. With all the content will be free. We're not gonna have like paid DLC or any of that mess. And again, it all depends on what the people say and during early access, which is another big factor. Our internal testing team has been testing and will continue testing, but obviously having a larger number of people participating will increase the quality and the amount of time that we'll have to actually update those things. So that's another big aspect of early access for us. We'll be able to see what works and what doesn't, because every player is going to play it differently, and there may be things that turn up that we didn't think of, and maybe feedback that's provided will be able to help us update things to make it more of a functioning, a game that is enjoyed by a broader audience. When we think, based on internal testing and other methods, that it should be quite popular. It has a lot of replayability. A lot of what you'll see is kind of the standard systems. You won't be able to see the randomness of a lot of the things, but the systems that we created should make each encounter different. Now, there's 15 bosses, so when all said and done, each boss will have a different variation. Each boss does have weaknesses and strengths, so you'll have to learn those and incorporate those in your tactics, as well as clues. While the clue approach, again, number 2, while we have 15 different bosses, is based on the amount of clues that we have. We wanted to make it so you couldn't just find 1 or 2 of the clues and know what you're dealing with. So to do that, we needed to expand the bosses and really define the clues. However, the clues are still left to interpretation for specific things. So an example would be you may find blood with a certain pH level or something like that, and for a specific boss, and at the same time you may find, the next time you fight, you may find blood with some other weird trace. Both relate to the same clue, but you're going to have to really do some thinking. So we hope with that alone, it's going to provide a lot of replayability for the levels. Along with that is there are other aspects to the levels, like location of corpses, clues, other system features are all random as well. So when you start a level, you won't know exactly where the body is, and you won't know where relics are, things like that. So again, that's going to add another layer of randomness to the levels. The levels themselves are handcrafted, so there's no randomness to the actual level. We're taking our time building those out, making them functional and testing them. So those won't be no randomness to those. However, everything else in the layout and stuff for the clues and whatnot will be. So that should help with the randomness as well. Let's see. Other than that, we are going to be updating our Steam page quite a bit in the coming months. The first video you see on there, or you might have saw, is from the second prototype version of our game. More details on the systems and stuff in the next video, but we're hoping that with the devlogs that we're creating, with some of the advertising that we're doing, that we can get our game out there, get people to see it, to support us, to wishlist the game, to follow, things like that. So we're going to try to start doing 1 or 2 devlogs a week to catch up to where we're at current state, and yeah, hopefully that gets the word out there. As in terms of reaching us, I'll have our email in the link below. I have our wish list link below. We have Facebook page as well. Link that below. Um, yeah, and then if you have any ideas, if you potentially want to get involved in early testing, um, or if you want to, want to be one of the first to show it off, by all means, shoot us an email in any one of the formats that we have. You can also reach out to us here on YouTube as well. But yeah, and also, just a side note, I do most of the, well, I do all the programming. Currently, I am not like expert at video editing or speaking, so I apologize if these are bland or at the start. Hopefully, with time, they'll get more enjoyable. But again, thanks for taking a look. If you did, if you like it, like. If you don't, and hit the don't like as well. And thanks again.